I was speaking to Joshua and D. Giles, actually Joshua the other day, and Joshua said, when I asked him this question, have things jumped in the level of the God's presence, the glory, the manifestations in your meetings? And he said, what is music to my ears, yes, Sid, they have. And that's why I invited both of them to be on. And I have to tell you, many of you don't know this couple. But, and actually I didn't know as much about Dee as I know right now. But Joshua was, all his life, he was, if you will, groomed to be a Major League Baseball star. This was his purpose. And then he had an encounter with God, and he found the real purpose he was created. But Dee has a very, very different background. As I understand it, Dee, you generationally came through a line of voodoo worshipers. And is voodoo a religion? I mean, what did you guys call it back then?
They do call it voodoo. It is basically a religion where they worship these demonic spirits and demonic possessions happen. Yes. You were invited to a church revival service. Why would you even go? Why did you even go there? You know what? Now that I look back, God was drawing me. He was really drawing me near because I usually wouldn't go. And I'm so glad I answered the call because I never experienced God like that before. It was amazing.
Just tell me a little bit about, here you walk in loaded, let's call it for what it is, loaded with demons.
Yes.
I'm amazed they even let you get into the door. You get in there. Tell me what it was like. What did you experience that you hadn't experienced in voodoo?
Wow. So when I went in, they started to worship and I just felt the amazing presence. Like it was almost like someone was holding me. I began to worship with them. And as I was worshiping, it's like I could feel the warmth of Christ around me. And I just began to tear up. And I never really felt that before. I was crying so much. And I was like, this is love. This is love. It was an amazing, powerful feeling.
And that love drew you to receive the Messiah. And
Yes.
then you started getting real serious in praying, fasting,
Yes.
and you started developing gifts of the Spirit. And you not only that, you met Josh, and the two of you were friends. And then you realized that God wanted more than friendship, and you got married, but you had some battles with the demonic. They were not happy to lose you, but God won. He always does, and God won. And you found that you even had a gifting to help people get out of things like voodoo and witchcraft.
Yes.
But the main leader, if you will, of your family was your dad. And you didn't have much success with him. I assume he was pretty upset that you left the family craft.
It was a battle from like day one. There was a battle in the realm of the spirit. We couldn't get along. It was just turmoil in the family.
And I understand that for 10 years or so this went on. What changed everything?
We prayed. Prayed and we prayed. I mean, we did not give up. And the moment I felt like giving up, I started to wake up with the Lord really impressing on me to keep on praying. And there was a special prayer I did pray. I said, Lord, send the laborers. Because I said, if he wouldn't hear it from me, I pray that he hears it from someone else that comes across his path. But I never gave up on speaking to him about the Messiah. I always just poured it out. And then one day we received an amazing call. And I'll never forget the sound of that call. it was my dad who gave his life to Christ. And I can hear in the background, it was our cousin who called and said, your dad just gave his life to Christ. And there were prayer warriors in the back, and you can hear the sound of people praying, because there was a prayer gathering near the house and he was there. And that's where he gave his life to Christ.
There's people watching right now that if someone asks them, okay, have you given up on your parents coming to the Lord? Have you given up on your children coming to the Lord? Have you given up on your spouse coming to the Lord? And they'd say no, but they really have in their heart. They're hopeless for certain people. What would you say to them?
My God, I would say do not give up.
Yes.
Our God is a God who answers. He answers prayer. And regardless of what looks like it may be a long time for us, it's not a long time. He will answer it in due season, in the right season. And when he answered that prayer for me, my whole family, my sisters and my brothers, those who didn't know Christ, came to know the Messiah. And it was
like a domino type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Once he fell,
it was
the others
powerful.
fell.
Whew. So don't give up. Do not give up.
Yep.
Keep pressing in and praying, because that's what the enemy wants. He wants you to stop praying.
Yeah.
But as you continue to trust and keep moving forward, you will see his hand in your life.
Because I remember her many times waking up in the middle of the night with the burden of his soul upon her. And she would wake up and say, I got to pray for my dad right now. It's so heavy. So we knew that there was a battle going on and that God was gaining ground. We just had to put forth the prayer, speaking life into the spirit, because there's no distance in the realm of the spirit, and God will begin to do it. And we saw the experience of that.
It's powerful. It's a person who said that they don't want to hear anything about the Messiah. They don't want anything to do with the Messiah at all. And now he's all sold out, sold out and living his life. It's amazing.
Well, I kind of equate it to baseball. In baseball, you know this, Joshua, 3 strikes and you're out, right? And people use that phrase all the time. But in the kingdom, you don't strike out unless you stop swinging.
That's right.
So don't stop swinging.
Don't stop swinging.
Joshua, about a year ago, you told me that you had a visitation from an angel. Tell me what happened.